So we've all done it, folks. We've all made the mistake. And years later, after buying something, we've regretted it. What's the gear that you regret buying or have regretted buying?
Oh, gear I've regretted buying. I've been fortunate where I haven't made a whole lot of missteps, and
Yeah.
and a lot. You've made a lot. The reason why I say that is because I'm cheap, and I'm frugal, and I don't spend my money unless I research it to death. Like
Yeah.
I research it to death. Um, Regret buying. I mean,
I can start if you want.
yeah, I think you're gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to think about it.
Yeah. So, of course, we've got guitars that we end up offloading, amps we end up offloading that we
This might
didn't
take a
want.
while, folks. Get your popcorn.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get super specific on that type of stuff or on like specific pedals. I'll tell you what I regret buying, probably more than just about anything though. I regret trying to shine and polish a turd. That's what I regret buying the most.
Yeah.
I regret taking these guitars that were kind of meh and
It's kind of like everybody says when you start dating somebody and you're just trying to change them.
yeah.
That's kind of what it's like.
He just needs a little bit of work. I'm gonna change him a little bit.
Yeah.
I regret taking these guitars and changing machine heads and changing tailpieces and changing pickups and all the electronics in them, and then like doing these crazy things to these guitars.
I might like it if I do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and taking them to something that I clearly don't like or don't get inspiration from and trying to turn it into something I do because it never works, guys. It never works. If you've got a guitar you love and there's just like one little thing that nags you or bothers you about it, it's completely different. When you're taking a guitar that you're just like, it's okay, dump it.
Yeah.
Dump it. You're never going to get there with it.
Hmm.
Because I've spent, so much, and you don't get money back on that. You don't get money back
No.
on changing machine heads and tailpieces and pickups. You don't get that money back. Once you lose that, it's gone. If you buy an amp or a guitar and you don't change anything to it and you end up regretting buying it and wanting to sell it off later, if you bought it used, you're probably going to get pretty close to what you gave for it.
Right.
But yeah, when you're dumping a bunch of money into like a guitar, there's been times I've put, a solid $1,000 into a guitar that I didn't like.
And it's still not good.
And when I get done, I just still don't like it and it still sucks.
Sorry, I'm laughing. And you know what? There's probably guys, you're probably out there and you're like, I'm him. But I just think it's so funny because
I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson, folks. Okay, I learned my lesson. But that's what I regret.
It only took him 25 years to get there.
Gosh dang. Yeah, 25 years of modding guitars and working on them until I'm like, you know what? If it's not right the first time or really close, probably should let it go. I'm not talking about fretwork. I'm not talking about like one little goofy thing. You guys know what I mean. Is there anything you regret buying?
You know, I feel pretty good about myself after listening to you. And like, you have to know, he's dropped, I think in the past 5 years, you've sold 8 guitars.
8 guitars.
He's went through his trouble era, okay? Now he's in the fun
Yeah.
times.
Well, I was just like accumulating gear too. And I had that weird point where I had like some nice guitars I really liked and had guitars that were just sitting in cases and like I was never going to touch again.
Right.
That I put all this money into. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm
So,
never going to get it out of them.
yeah, things that you regret buying. I bought a Voxwa one time, and I regretted that.
Gosh, I hate you. I love that his thing is like, yeah, I bought this one pedal one time and I didn't like it. It's like,
I told you, I research everything. And honestly, I'm trying to think like, so I will say another pedal that I regret buying. And no disrespect, I love pedal, but I bought the Church of Tone, and I'm just not a fan.
yeah.
Like, it's almost has to always be on. So it was just a misconception. There's another. Okay?
Okay,
Pedals.
cool.
But as far as amps,
You got
guitars,
$180 worth of regret.
as far as amps and guitars, like, I've done pretty good.
Yeah, I don't feel like amps I've done too bad on. Of course, there's pedals I regret.
You've bought some amps that were not ideal.
Yep. Yep. I've been through, yeah, actually, I have been through quite a few amps.
Yeah.
There was a time where there was Rat Gear. Remember that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was a time there was Rat Gear. I regret that at this point. Yeah, so there's quite a bit I regret buying. But I think the number one thing, and probably something for you guys to take home to you, I mean, tell me what you guys regret buying, but I got a feeling most of you guys are going to be kind of in the same boat as me. Anytime you really invest a bunch of money. No, invest a bunch of money into a guitar. You never know you're going to get, you know that you're never going to get it out of it.
Right.
If you buy used Rat Gear, at least you can sell it for similar prices.